Have you ever wondered why, even after working hard, success feels out of reach? The truth is, most people have been lied to about what success really takes. Today, I'm going to reveal what no one tells you, the raw reality behind success, and why most people never make it. Welcome to this video. If you've been chasing success but feel stuck or frustrated, you're not alone. We live in a world that glamorizes overnight wins and makes success look effortless. But the reality is much different, and today we're pulling back the curtain to show you the truth. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's holding you back and how to finally move forward. You've probably opened Instagram or TikTok today and seen someone posing with a luxury car, sipping coffee in a high-rise apartment, or casually showing off a vacation on a private island. And immediately that little voice in your head says, "Wow, they've made it. That's success." But let me tell you something, what you're seeing isn't the whole picture. It's a highlight reel, a carefully curated illusion. And it's one of the biggest reasons so many people feel like failures today. We've been tricked into believing that success looks glamorous, easy, and instant. That if you don't have all these things, you're somehow behind in life. But the truth? That picture is a lie, and I'm going to explain why. When you scroll through your feed and see these luxury lifestyles, you're seeing the finish line, not the marathon. Nobody posts the nights they cried themselves to sleep, the days they questioned whether it was all worth it, or the endless hours of work when no one was clapping for them. You see the car, but not the debt they risked to start that business. You see the vacation, but not the years of saying no to parties, no to weekends off, and no to instant gratification. What social media gives you is a 10-second snapshot of someone's life, and yet we let that define how we feel about our entire journey. This illusion is dangerous because it convinces you that success is about looking successful, not actually being successful. Think about it, how many people today are renting cars just for a photo? How many are drowning in credit card debt because they want to keep up the image? The sad part is, a lot of people are chasing the appearance of success instead of doing the hard, unglamorous work it really takes. And the crazy thing is, the people you admire online, the ones who are actually winning, they didn't get there by flexing on social media. They got there by grinding in silence, putting in work when nobody was watching, making sacrifices nobody talks about. That's the real truth no one wants to tell you. And here is something else you need to hear. Real success is not exciting most of the time. It's boring. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's staying focused when distractions are everywhere. It's sitting alone at a desk for hours, building something that might not pay off for years. There's no applause, no likes, no instant dopamine hit. Just you and your discipline. That's why so many people give up. They expect fireworks, and instead they get silence. But the silence is where the real work happens. The grind is where you build the foundation. If you can't handle the boring parts, you'll never get to the parts everyone admires. Now, let's talk about why this matters for you. If you've ever felt like you're not good enough because you don't have what they have, you're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. You're re-comparing the raw footage of your life to the edited version of someone else's. That's like comparing the first draft of your book to somebody else's published bestseller. It doesn't make sense. Everyone has a process. Everyone has a journey. And success is not a one-size-fits-all thing. For some, it takes years. For others, decades. But nobody, absolutely nobody, skips the struggle. Think about every person you admire, the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the creators. Do you think they woke up one day and everything just happened? No, they worked when no one cared. They kept going when no one believed in them. They faced rejection, failure, criticism, and still showed up the next day. And yet, when we see them now, we only see the after picture. We assume it was easy, and then we wonder why it feels so hard for us. That's because the truth isn't trending. The truth isn't glamorous enough to go viral. The truth is, success is built in the shadows before it shines in the spotlight. And here's the part you need to remember. You don't need the cars, the clothes, or the fancy lifestyle to be successful. That's noise. Real success is about freedom to live on your own terms, to wake up and do what matters to you, to create a life that fulfills you, not impresses strangers online, because at the end of the day, likes don't pay your bills. Followers don't guarantee happiness. And validation from people you don't know will never replace the satisfaction of knowing you earned something the right way. Everybody talks about motivation like it's the magic ingredient for success. Scroll through your feed and you'll see countless quotes, videos, and speakers telling you to stay motivated, as if that's all you need to make your dreams happen. And yes, motivation feels great. It gives you energy, it gets you hyped, it makes you feel like you can take on the world. But here's the problem: motivation is temporary. It's like a spark. It burns bright for a moment and then it dies. And if you're depending on motivation to carry you, you're going to quit the second it disappears. The truth is, motivation is the most overrated part of success. What really matters is discipline. Discipline is what separates people who dream from people who actually achieve. Motivation will tell you to start. Discipline will make sure you finish. And this is where most people get stuck. They think they need to feel inspired before they act. They wait for that magical moment when everything feels right, when they're in the mood, when the timing is perfect. But let me tell you something, that moment rarely comes. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll never be consistent. And consistency, not motivation, is what creates results. Think about it. The days you wake up excited, the days you feel unstoppable, that's easy. Anybody can work when they're pumped up. But what about the days when you're tired, when life feels heavy, when you don't see progress? Those are the days that make or break you. And those days aren't fueled by motivation, they're fueled by discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. It's showing up day after day with no excuses. It's the boring, repetitive, unsexy stuff that nobody claps for, but that's what builds success brick by brick. Let's be real for a second. How many times have you felt motivated to start something new? A workout plan, a business idea, a new skill? At first, you were on fire, right? You told everyone about it. You woke up early, you crushed it for a few days. And then what happened? The excitement faded. You missed one day, then two, and suddenly it felt impossible to get back on track. That's not because you're lazy or incapable. It's because you were relying on motivation, and motivation isn't built to last. It's an emotion, and emotions are temporary. You can't build your future on something that disappears the moment life gets hard. Now imagine if you shifted that energy to discipline. Imagine if you made a commitment that no matter how you feel, you'll show up. No debates, no negotiations, no waiting for the perfect mood. You train your mind to understand that this is non-negotiable. Just like brushing your teeth, just like eating, you do it because it has to be done. That's the mindset successful people live by. They don't ask, do I feel like it today? They just do it, and that's why they win. Because success isn't about doing extraordinary things once in a while. It's about doing the ordinary things consistently. Here's something most people don't realize. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. You think you need motivation to start, but the truth is when you start, that's when motivation shows up. The hardest part is getting out of bed, lacing up your shoes, opening your laptop, making that first call. Once you start, momentum kicks in. But if you sit around waiting to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. The people you admire didn't feel ready every day. They didn't feel motivated every day. They just started, and that's what made all the difference. And here's the best part about discipline: it creates freedom. It sounds crazy, right? How can doing something over and over feel like freedom? Because discipline builds habits, and habits run on autopilot. Once you've done something enough times, it stops feeling like a fight. It becomes part of who you are. You don't need to argue with yourself anymore. You don't need to waste energy deciding. You just do it. And when you reach that point, success stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling inevitable. That's why you can't afford to rely on motivation. Motivation is like a friend who only shows up when things are fun. Discipline is the friend who's there when everything falls apart. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline doesn't care about your excuses. It just shows up, and if you learn to do the same, you'll win in the long run. Because the truth is, success isn't about feeling good every day. It's about doing what needs to be done. Every single day, no matter what. Most people want success, but very few are willing to pay the real price for it. And that price isn't just hard work, it's sacrifice, it's patience. Two words that sound simple but are brutally hard to live by. The truth nobody tells you is that success will take something from you before it gives something back. It's not just about doing more, it's about giving up things you love, things you're comfortable with, things that make life easy right now so you can build the life you really want later. And the question is, are you willing to make those trades? Because let's be honest, everybody loves the idea of success. Everybody wants the dream house, the financial freedom, the lifestyle that screams independence. But the moment you tell them they might have to give up Netflix for late-night study sessions, or stop partying every weekend to invest in their goals, suddenly it's too much. People want the outcome without the process. They want the reward without the sacrifice, but success doesn't work like that. Every yes comes with a no. If you're saying yes to your goals, you're going to have to say no to comfort, no to distractions, and sometimes no to people. And here's where it gets real. Sometimes those sacrifices will hurt. You might lose friends because you're not available like you used to be. You might miss out on events because you're working on your craft. You might feel like you're falling behind socially because you're rebuilding something bigger than the moment. And let me tell you, that loneliness, that sense of missing out, it's real, but it's also temporary. And the people who can push through that are the ones who end up living the life that everyone else dreams about. You can't keep everything and expect to level up. You can't hold on to old habits and expect new results. Something has to give. And then there's patience. Oh man, patience is the ultimate test. Because in a world where everything is instant likes, instant messages, instant delivery, waiting feels like punishment. We've been trained to believe that if something doesn't happen fast, it's not working. But the truth about success is that it moves slow. It takes time to build something meaningful. It takes time to see the seeds you've planted start to grow. And that's why most people quit. They confuse slow progress with no progress. They look at the calendar and think, it's been 6 months. Why am I not there yet? And they walk away right before things were about to click. If you want success, you have to be okay with delayed gratification. You have to be willing to work today without seeing results tomorrow. You have to trust the process even when the process feels like it's not working. And that trust isn't easy because it requires faith in something you can see yet. But think about anything great you've ever admired. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, they all waited longer than they wanted to. They all had moments where they thought, maybe this isn't for me, but they stayed in the game, and that's why they won. Success is like a marathon. It is not about how fast you can sprint at the start, it asks about how long you can keep going when your legs burn, when your lungs hurt, when everything in you says quit. And here's the part most people overlook. The sacrifices you make today, the patience you develop along the way, they don't just lead to success. They shape you into a completely different person, someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who understands the value of time, effort, and resilience. And that transformation is the real reward, because once you've learned how to be disciplined, how to sacrifice, how to wait, you can win in any area of life. Most people never experience that because they want everything now. They chase shortcuts, hacks, and easy buttons. But the truth is, shortcuts usually take you in circles. Hacks give you small wins, but never the big ones. The big wins belong to those who play the long game. So here's the reality. If you want success, you're going to have to let go of the idea that it will happen fast or without cost. You will trade sleep for progress. You will trade comfort for growth. You will trade weekends for workdays. And you will wait sometimes longer than you ever imagined. But every sacrifice, every moment of patience is a step closer to the life you want. It's not punishment, it's preparation. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop looking for easy roads and start walking the real one. Because that's where the difference is made, not in how badly you want success, but in what you're willing to give up for it and how long you're willing to keep going before it pays off. So now you know the truth about success, the truth nobody tells you. It's not the picture-perfect image you see online. It's not about flashy cars, dream vacations, or overnight wins. It's built on the boring, consistent, unglamorous work that happens when no one is watching. It's about showing up on the hard days, not just the easy ones. It's about doing what you said you would do long after the feeling that made you say it has faded. And it's about sacrificing what's comfortable today for the life you want tomorrow, and having the patience to wait as long as it takes. This is why so many people never make it, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they refuse to accept these truths. They want quick results. They want comfort, they want success without paying the price. But if you're still here listening to this, then you're different. You're willing to do what others won't. You're willing to commit to the process, to stay disciplined, to keep pushing even when the progress feels invisible. Remember this, the people you admire started exactly where you are. They faced the same doubts, the same fears, the same urge to quit. The difference is they didn't. They embraced the truth. They accepted the price and they stayed the course. Now it's your turn. The path won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Not just because of what you achieve, but because of who you become along the way.